Hey everyone, welcome to the movie guys. I'm Mike, and welcome to my review of the new sci-fi film, Alien Romulus.
There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Romulus space station.
This place gives me the creeps.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
What the fuck was that? Young?
Stop playing around, man. Just get up.
I'm not playing around, there's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in
I
the
don't know,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water.
Alright everybody, where to begin with this film? Me personally, I've been a fan of the Alien franchise for a very long time. Alien and Aliens are some of my favorite sci-fi horror films. I just love the way Ridley Scott and James Cameron did two great, fantastic films that just felt like they were a part of each other, but yet they did two things that were totally different. Where Alien 1 was mainly horror, then you had Aliens that was also a little bit of horror, but was more action-based, but the two together work as one great combo package until we get to Alien 3, which is fine, but definitely nowhere near as good as the first two. The Alien Resurrection is just campy fun, but that's about as far as it goes. We got Alien vs. Predator. I liked the first one. I thought it was enjoyable. It was fun, but on the whole, it's just a fun film. The sequel was terrible, Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Then we got Prometheus, and we got Alien Covenant. Now, I know it's very controversial. I know a lot of you out there do not like those two films. Me personally, I love them. I thought they were good companion pieces to the Alien franchise. I thought Ridley Scott did a great job explaining the origins of how the xenomorphs and aliens came to fruition, that they came from these engineers, and that these people may have also engineered humanity. I just thought that was really cool how he did that, and I actually personally enjoyed Alien Covenant more than Prometheus. I thought Alien Covenant felt very much like an Alien film, whereas I get Prometheus felt a little bit away from the Alien franchise, but I thought it still worked. But Alien Covenant I thought was excellent. I enjoyed myself. I'm still very pissed off that the ending of that film has not yet been resolved. We do get a little bit of the Prometheus Covenant stuff in this film, but not nearly enough for me to be satisfied by the conclusion of David and that whole storyline. So this new film is directed by Fede Alvarez, who brought us Don't Breathe and the remake of Evil Dead. Now, me personally, I was a huge fan of Don't Breathe. I thought it was excellent. I thought the performances were good, but overall, I thought it was really cool how in Don't Breathe it was very contained. It was very much in the house the whole movie, and Fede Alvarez really made that movie work. The intensity of the characters, not knowing what's around the corner every step of the way. And that is why he is the perfect person to bring Alien back to the screen. I initially had thought that when this franchise seemed like it went into cold storage, if you may, after Covenant, I wasn't sure where the franchise was going to go, if they were going to do a full reboot, especially when Disney had bought Fox. I wasn't sure that Disney would even want to get into the Alien franchise. Maybe it was just too much for them. So it was really hard to tell where they would go with this franchise, if at all. We are getting that Alien TV series that's being done for FX, which I don't know how I feel about that yet, considering I'm hearing rumors that it has nothing to do with Prometheus and Covenant, so I don't really know if I'm going to like that series too much, because this film keeps Prometheus and Covenant intact as part of canon, and the series will not. So for me, it's almost like watching the series might feel like a different Alien universe, like a multiverse, like a whole different universe of Alien. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably still give it a watch, but as far as it being a part of this canon, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But when Covenant was announced, when Romulus was announced, when Romulus was announced, I wasn't sure how to feel because, you know, it was pretty clear that it was not going to be a sequel to Covenant. A lot of the rumors out there had it basically being almost like a reboot of the franchise, like they were going to do this movie that was going to be like its own thing. At the time, we didn't know if it was going to ignore the events of any of the Alien films, which thank God it didn't, because that's what makes this film work so well, is that it doesn't ignore the events of the previous films. This fits very nicely in between Alien and Aliens, and leads right into Aliens very well. But it does a great job building off the storyline of Alien, especially in the first 5 minutes when we kind of find out how the Xenomorphs get on this Romulus ship that our crew in this film is going to encounter. From the very beginning of the film, we immediately see that Fede Alvarez was the right pick for this film. He uses the technology that we saw in Alien, the same kind of computer system from the 70s, the way the music builds in the opening, the credits, just the whole feel of Alien is immediately captured in the first 2 minutes of the film. It really is, and I appreciated that so much because you immediately could see that Fede Alvarez was a fan of the franchise and he was trying to honor what he had seen before. So, after the opening, we get a chance to go to the colony that our character Rain, played by Kaylee Spaney, which, by the way, I have seen her in Pacific Rim, the Pacific Rim sequel. Just saw her in Civil War earlier this year. She was even at the in that film, that other motel film that was done, Bad Times at the El Royale or whatever it was, and she was great in that too. And she's been great in everything I've seen. She really is starting to become the next big actress in Hollywood, because now she's also going to be in Knives Out 3, the Rian Johnson sequel to Daniel Craig's Knives Out franchise. She's just kind of the hot commodity right now. She is the one to go to lead films, and she is excellent. Her acting is great. She's basically this film's new Ellen Ripley, the new Sigourney Weaver, and she fits into those shoes so nicely, and I am hoping that if we do get continuations from this part of the franchise, without getting into spoiler territory, close your ears if you've not seen the film, I'm going to spoil part of the ending here, with her character surviving the end of the film, I am actually really hoping that we get a chance to see more of her. Even though we have sequels that take place beyond this where we don't see her, we don't know where her and Andy are going to end up at the end of the film when they go into cryosleep. We don't know where they're going to end up, so the possibilities are endless for the franchise. They could end up in some far distant part of the galaxy that's far away from where the Alien universe continues. They continue their journey somewhat. Even if they end up on the planet that they're going towards, maybe there's something going on there. Might be more political. Who knows? We'll see. Take them off now. Spoilers are over. But the rest of the crew here is really good. Isabel Merced as Kay is the one that really stands out here next to Kaylee Spaney. She has to go through a lot in the final act of the film, and she's tasked with quite the performance in the last 40 minutes or so, because her character is pregnant throughout this whole film, and that pregnancy factors into the plot as a whole as we get to the third and final act. Now, a lot of the reviews I read before I saw the film, basically it said that the third act was wild. Me personally, I didn't think the third act was as wild as the reviews were making it out to be. I kind of almost saw where it was going by the end of the second act. Some people in reviews had said that they felt like, the movie was about to end, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hits us with something we didn't expect. I did expect what was going to happen in the third act. I mean, all the warning signs were there, all the buildup was there. I'm not exactly sure why nobody really saw it coming. I mean, it was pretty much right in front of you. But the third act, I thought, really worked, too. I liked the fact, too, that they really played up the connection to Prometheus in the film. Fede did a great job of honoring the prequels. honoring the fact that those are still part of this canon. So I know a lot of people wish that Prometheus and Covenant were not part of canon, but I think it makes the whole franchise a lot more meaningful. And the fact that Fetty includes this, especially when there's like even a small little music cue that we get when we see the black goo from Prometheus and Covenant, I thought that was a really nice touch. And also the creature that we see at the end looks like one of the engineers from Prometheus. So very nice little touches to what came before it. And I'll be curious to see how that's all going to tie into if we get a potential sequel to this. Let me next talk about the atmosphere of this film. It's about 40 minutes or so before we actually start getting into the alien stuff. The scene in the trailer with the face huggers in the cryo water tube room where the guys are stuck in. That's the first big moment where we get this first scary encounter that the crew actually encounters something, and that doesn't happen until about 40 minutes into the film, which is very surprising. There's a lot of build-up. So does the film move a little slow in the beginning? Yes, but I think that actually is a plus for this film because it gives us a chance to get to know the characters before shit hits the fan. A lot of horror movies jump into the action within 10 minutes. And how are we supposed to care about characters we've only known for 10 minutes when they get killed off? So this allows us to feel for these characters, get to know them, and when they get killed off, or if and when they get killed off, we feel a little bit for them versus when they don't actually do that. Alright, so my reviews are starting this new trend. I'm going to do the good, and I'm going to do the bad of the film before I get into my overall score. So first, let's get into the good of this film. First things first, atmosphere, like I just talked about. This is basically a haunted house in space, and I'll even go as far as saying that this is Fede Alvarez's Don't Breathe in space, in a way. How he captures the atmosphere feels very much like the first Alien film. A lot of the shots that we get are straight out of Aliens, with the face huggers and such, but there was one really cool sequence where the crew has to walk through this passage to get to the other side of the ship, where there's a bunch of face huggers that are loose. And we find out that face huggers adjust to the body temperature of the victim. So when they sense the body temperature, that's when they jump and attack. So they decide to reset the temperature of the room to body temperature, 98.6, and they have to walk through this room while face huggers are on each side of the wall, and we're seeing them crawl in the background. And it's just really creepy, and the atmosphere and the intensity of that scene is excellent. That also goes back to the point of I love that the xenomorphs and the face huggers in this film are real. They are not CGI. They are created by the same. Kaylee Spaney said that all these creatures were created by the same people that did Aliens with James Cameron. And you could tell that there was a lot of care put into that. And the fact that the actors feel like they're on set with the aliens and the face huggers makes it that more scary. Because sometimes when you have CGI and different things, it takes you out of the film because it doesn't feel real. But this really feels real. When you have the face-to-face of Rain and the alien and the elevator shaft, and they're face-to-face, and you know that creature was really there for that moment, it makes it feel so much better and so much more real. The performances by Kaylee Spaney are excellent. She leads this film very well. David Jonasson as Andy the android is phenomenal. He is great. I love the character. Coming off of Michael Fassbender as David, he lives up to the next android that follows up Fassbender's David. I love his performance, and I cannot wait to see more of him in a sequel as well. And like I said before, Isabel Merced as Kay was great, especially in the final act. I look forward to seeing her in the second season of The Last of Us later this year. But this was a good start to that, and I loved her performance, and I liked the scenes that she had with Rain. Her and Kaylee really had a great sisterly chemistry that really worked, and I really felt them fighting for their life in the final act. And then again, pacing. I thought pacing was really good here. I thought the first 40 minutes were a lot better than people give it credit for. I think the slow pace actually helped build towards the intensity, because after the first 40 minutes, we get knee deep into the intensity of the face huggers, the xenomorphs. And after the first 40, the next hour 20 is nonstop, relentless stuff. So I really appreciated that as well. For the bad of the film, I don't really have much in the way bad to say about it. I could really say more so what I disliked versus what was bad. So I'm not even going to say that this was stuff that I thought was bad. This is just stuff that I didn't really care for. Yes, there were a few lines that were repeated for nostalgia purposes. One line by Andy that was repeated that might have felt forced. I kind of liked it, but it felt a little forced. There were little parts too that felt like they were out of the other films, but I thought that also I also forgave that. I mean, because I think that with the franchise in the state that it was in, I think playing up a little bit of nostalgia and fan service is exactly what the franchise may have needed in this case. So I think when they do sequels, now they can kind of veer off from fan service and get more into doing stuff that's taking a risk. But I don't think it really hurts the film too much. Like I said, the only thing I really disliked was really that just some stuff that we've seen before in the franchise. But on the whole, it doesn't really hurt the film entirely. So it's still very much enjoyable, even if you put that in the back of your mind, just kind of ignore it. So overall, I thought this was a great chapter in the Alien franchise. I thought it goes very well between Alien and Aliens, like I mentioned earlier. If you watch Alien, you literally can watch this one and then Aliens, and it works so well together. I would create a really good trilogy, and now we're just kind of hoping to see where the franchise is going to go from here and see what the franchise has in store for us. So, for my score, I give Alien Romulus
whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
An 8.5 out of 10. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me on another episode. It's really much appreciated. Please follow, like, subscribe, as I say before. Need all the help we can get to get followers and to build the channel up so we can start bringing you more content. New background, new display back here. Always list the title in the background of whatever I'm reviewing, plus the color scheme of however it fits. So I'm trying to up the ante with the reviews and the atmosphere, and coming forth with the with some of the visuals of the videos and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot coming soon. We're definitely going to make the channel and the videos give it a little kick, a punch, coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. So be sure to follow on TikTok, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, like the videos. Please comment. Let us know what you want to see more of. I'll be happy to do it. So thank you for joining me on this review of Alien Romulus. The next review I'll see you on, it looks like it'll be Beetlejuice next week. So I'll see everybody, and see you on Beetlejuice. See y'all.